Hi guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another video. Today's video, we are doing a match preview, and it is the first match preview of the 21 to 22 season. League One football for Cheltenham for the first time in 11 years. And it's the return of the match previews. Haven't done one in a while, so I'm planning on doing one of these for every game this season, maybe bar Carabao Cup games. And obviously Papa John's Trophy or whatever it's called these days games. They're just not important, to be honest. But yeah, so let's just get straight into it. We face Crewe Alexandra at Gresty Road on August the 7th of 2021, obviously. 3 o'clock kickoff. By the sounds of it, we should have a fair few going up to Cheshire for this one. Thinking around 400. So, again, it's Cheltenham-style numbers. We're not bringing many, but it's better than previous times we've visited Gresty Road. So let's talk about the club's pre-season. So we'll start off with Crewe. They played 8 pre-season games in total, of which they won 4 of them, and the other 4 were 2 losses coming against Oldham and Stoke City, and draws coming against Kidsgrove Athletic and Nottingham Forest. So a decent pre-season round for them. I think they probably would have wanted to beat the likes of Oldham, but again, it's pre-season. Nothing really can be counted when it comes to pre-season. It's about experimenting with your players, and I always sometimes think that losses can be a good thing in pre-season because it means it gives you more chance to experiment the next time. Because if it doesn't go right with certain players you put out, you can go again the next time. And obviously, again, the losses came against Oldham and Stoke, so not really bad opponents to lose against. And they put 2 past Stoke, and they only lost 2-1 to Oldham as well. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they finish this season. Because I will talk about their departures and arrivals when it comes to transfers in a moment for both teams. But I will just talk about our pre-season results. We played 1 less than Crewe. We played 7, of which we won 6. The only loss coming up against Birmingham City at Whaddon Road, losing 3-0. However, again, pre-season, we didn't put out the strongest squad. We did use a lot of our trialists, and Birmingham did look pretty strong on the day. We didn't look the best from what I've seen. But yeah, again, pre-season, it's all about experimenting with your players and your trialists that you've got on with the club at the time. So let's now move on to the departures from the end of last season and the arrivals up to this moment for both clubs. So as it says here, Crewe have currently, at the time of filming this, brought in 5 signings. Callum McFadzean, or McFadzean, I don't know how to say it, I apologise on that one. From what I've heard, he's not great, not glowing reports from Sunderland fans. He joins them on a free transfer. You've also got the likes of Kane Ramsey on loan from Southampton, who is a young player, and I haven't seen much about him, but I am aware of him. And then you've also got the likes of Chris Long, who I have heard good things about. He comes on a free transfer to Crewe. And yeah, you've also got the other 2 in Tommy Hoban and Sean McDonald. So yeah, they've brought in 5. And the departures following the end of last season, I'll just name the 2 of them. Obviously, they lost in January, Perry NG. I mean, they seem to replace him pretty well towards the end of the season. However, that is still a pretty big loss for them. He probably was their best player at times, if not constantly. They lost him to Cardiff. And then Harry Pickering also left and joined Blackburn Rovers. So both moving on to big clubs, and that, shows that it will be a bit of a loss for Crewe. And, it will be interesting to see how they do this season in terms of, if they're losing their best players after a season in League One, which they've done pretty well in with majority of the season with those players. It'll be interesting to see how their recruits do for this season, I think. I'd still predict them to finish maybe just below mid-table, but they may even do even more. I mean, the signings that they've made, if they do prove themselves to be very good, then who knows of Crewe, because they always seem to surprise me. But yeah, Crewe are a very hard team to beat for us, and I will move on to our transfer business for this summer. So obviously, the only players we've actually lost so far are the loan signings, so that was a guarantee anyway. We haven't sold any players, which is very good to see. We've stuck with majority of the same squad from last season, which did win the League 2 title. Obviously, the loanees leaving such as Finn Azaz, Josh Griffiths. We did also lose Callum Wright, however he has signed again for us now. And also Sam Smith, who is now signed for Cambridge, so best of luck to him in League One. We will see you when we play you. But yeah, the players we've brought in so far hasn't been a very busy transfer window, to be honest. It's been a bit of a boring one up till today, I'd say. So we brought in, our first signing was Owen Evans, obviously came on loan in the 19-20 season, the season where we did reach the playoffs. Put in a fantastic performance in the first leg of the League 2 playoffs. However, second leg, let's just not talk about it. It wasn't his fault. It was an absolute shocker for us in attack, in midfield and defence. The whole team just capitulated. But yeah, good signing. I think he's got very, very good distribution. His handling can look a bit dodgy, but he's got the best distribution I've seen from any keeper at this level. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he compares to other keepers in League One, because he has had a little bit of experience with his ex-club Wigan Athletic. We also then signed Eliot Bonds, who came on loan last season, but his loan move was cut short due to an injury, and he had to go back to Hull City for rehab. From what I've seen of him in pre-season, he looks alright. He moves around a lot. I'd like to see him maybe pressuring the opposition a bit more, because he does seem to have that energy about him. He's decent on the ball. Whether he plays a massive role this season or not, we'll wait and see. But yeah, I thought that was a bit of a mess signing, to be honest, because he looks like he's got potential, but I think he is going to need to start proving, obviously, with the signings of the two midfielders today. Also, we did sign Dylan Barkers from Alvechurch, who was on trial with us, and he got sent straight back out on loan, which was a bit of a funny move in my opinion, because he's only signed on a 1-year deal and he's staying with them until January. So, I mean, we can recall him. I don't think we'll need him necessarily, but I thought, what's the point in bringing him in from a low league club and then just sending him back when he's on a 1-year deal? I don't know. Maybe Duff has had an idea for him, because he's not going to get game time here. I'd respect that opinion as well. And yeah, finally, the last two signings we've made this window, Callum Wright and Taylor Perry. Both midfielders, both young, both come from Premier League clubs and both look very promising. We know about Callum Wright, he was incredible when he signed in January last season. And also Taylor Perry, I've heard good things, so I can't wait to see him play in a Cheltenham shirt. So now we are on to the part of the video where I name how I think we should line up ahead of this game. Now, this is a difficult one in certain positions in terms of, mainly the striker position. There's not a great amount of options. I've gone for a 3-5-2 as we always play. But the reason I say difficult striker options, we have 4 strikers at the club. We need to play 2. We need to start 2. We've got Andy Williams, Alfie May, George Lloyd and Callum Ebanks. That is literally all the strikers we have at the club at the moment. We've gone from having too many strikers at the club, having to get rid of the likes of Tavon Campbell, Ruben Reid. And now we've got 4. So, there you go. But let's move on to how I think we should line up ahead of Crewe on Saturday. So, in goal, I have gone for Owen Evans. Now, personally, he is miles clear of Scott Flinders. That could be a bit of an argument, but to be honest, I personally don't see why Michael Duff thinks that it's close. I think Scotty is a great keeper, but I think it's just, I think it's difficult because they both haven't had much game time in the past season. Obviously, Owen Evans lacking game time at Wigan, and Scott Flinders literally playing 1 game all season. One competitive game for us all season. Not getting a look in, obviously, with Josh Griffiths in between the posts for most games. I don't really see where the debate is. Personally, I think in my mind, Owen Evans has got to start. If he doesn't perform, I think we've got to give Flinders a try. But in my opinion, you're going to have to start Owen Evans. I think he is the clear option. So we will move on to the defensive 5, or 3 if you like. Obviously, I will just include the wing backs in the defence because you can count it for both really. But we play more wing backs rather than right mid and left mid. But we still classify as 3-5-2. So, at left wing back, I've gone for a pretty easy one. I've gone for Chris Hussey. And right wing back, again, I've just gone for Matty Blair. They were incredible last season. I think Matty Blair is by far the most underrated player we have. He is absolutely unreal. He's rapid. He's brilliant at tackling. He can thread a pass. And he's not a bad finisher either. He's a very, very well-rounded player. He's got good experience. He's played in League One before. And I think he's going to be absolutely fantastic this season. And he doesn't get the credit that he deserves for his work for us. He's absolutely unreal. And yeah, no debate for the wing-backs for me. The three centre-backs. I've gone a bit basic here, but I've gone for Sean Long, Ben Tozer, and Will Boyle. Now, the only debate in my mind I have here is Lewis Freeston. Now, he can play left-sided. He's proved that he can play left wing-back. But he can also play centre-back. So when Will Boyle was injured last season, he was absolutely fantastic at centre-back. He was absolutely brilliant. And again, he's been absolutely top quality in pre-season. And I think he is that close to getting in there over Sean Long. I think he really is. And he might even start over him. Duff might even start him over him. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised, but I've just gone for the three that played the most games for us last season because I think there's no defensive change with transfers or anything. I've kept with the same, but I think Lewis Freeston could easily slot into that back three of centre-backs. The three in midfield, I have gone for Connor Thomas, Liam Sercombe and Callum Wright. And finally, the two strikers for me, Andy Williams and Alfie May. There's not really any other option. I think Ebanks will be there. You know, he's proved at young level. He's proved at academy level. He looks to be a very, very good player. Proper goal scorer, but I think, you know, if we were still in League Two, I think he would get some game time. But I think League One, we're not the best side in the league anymore. I don't think we're going to be able to let him have a look in. I think we need to sign at least one or two, preferably two, strikers before the transfer window does close. But in the meantime, I think realistically we just stick with May and Williams up front. They both had decent pre-seasons. Can they prove in League One? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that is how I think we should line up for Crewe. But before I do end off this video, the first match preview back, I am going to give my score prediction. I don't like giving score predictions on opening day. We never seem to come through on opening day. Away from home, Crewe, pretty solid season last season. Lost a couple key players, but realistically, I think I'm going to be cheeky. I think I'm going to go for a 1-1. I just can see it being a 1-1. I don't know why. I think that's what my heart's saying. I'm thinking we will get a goal. I think maybe Crewe will go 1-0 up and then we'll get one back. The thing I don't want is a 1-0 loss or a 2-0. A loss in general, but a 1-0 loss, because I feel like the last time we played them away, we lost 1-0, and it was horrible. Alexandra missed a goal that he should have scored. He literally missed the ball. I wouldn't say we dominated them, but we were probably the better side that faces in the game. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1. I like to say, let me know your score predictions down in the comments below. And yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a class rest of the day, lads. And to those of you that are going to Crewe, I will see you there. Make sure to come and say hello if you do bump into me at some point. Feel free to say hello. And yeah, to those who aren't, have a class rest of the day, lads. And I will see you in the next one.